Okay, now we want to look into how you can find a radical function's domain. Well, let's first just remember, what is domain? Well, domain represents how far left and how far right something goes. So the set of all x values that make a function true. For instance, I'm going to draw this person right here, and we're going to find the domain of this person. Okay, this is this example. Well, the domain of this person is how wide they are. Okay. So it looks like they're from here to here. That's the wideness of them. So this length from here to here is their domain, from here to there. Now the range is a little bit different. The range is how tall a person is, okay? But we're not focusing on range right now. We're just focusing on domain. Now there's two methods that I'm going to show you how to find the domain of a function. The first method is going to be algebraic. The other one is going to be graphing. We'll start with the first one, and I got two steps for that. Step one is to set the radicand greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so you might say, hey, what is this radicand thing you speak of? Well, here it is. The radicand is something under the radical is the radicand. So we just got to set that greater or equal to 0. And step two is solve for the variable. And that variable in this situation is that x right there. So let's do this. Let's set it greater than or equal to 0. I got 2x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. And we're going to solve for this x right there. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I got 2x is greater than or equal to 5, and I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I got x is greater than or equal to 5 divided by 2. Well, that's just 2.5. So my domain for this radicand is 2.5, or x is greater than 2.5. So all values 2.5 or greater. Okay, and here's the reason why it's only those values, because if you put anything less than that, less than 2.5 in for this, let's try putting a 1 in there, which we know is less than 2.5. We get the square root of 2 times 1 minus 5. Well, the square root of 2 times 1 minus 5 is the square root of 2 minus 5, which is equal to the square root of negative 3. And we know we can't take the square root of a negative number. That's bad. So we need to make sure that every value that goes in there makes what's underneath here, or makes the radicand a positive. And in that situation, any number 2.5 or greater will make it positive. The next thing you could do, instead of doing it algebraically, is graph it. So let's take this function and graph it. I'll bring up my graphing calculator, and we're going to graph 2x minus 5, the square root of 2x minus 5. So let's start by putting it in my y equals. We'll take y equals square root of 2x minus 5. Close that off, graph it, and there is our function. You see it right here. See it right there? That's the function. And we want to find the domain. Now remember, the domain is how far left and how far right it goes. Okay? So that's what we're looking for finding on this situation. I can't erase from this point of view. Let's try it from here. Clear the ink on there. Let's zoom in on this point. Just get a better idea where that's at. We know from solving before it should be closer to be 2.5, and it is. Okay. This is about 2.5 right there. Is this beginning of this function, and it goes that way forever and ever, for infinity. So the domain is x is greater than 2.5. Now if it was going this way, it would be x is less than or equal to 2.5. But it's not. It's going the other way. So that's how you can use a graph to find the domain of these functions, if you want to use that over an algebraic method. And we will be moving on to solving some of these radical functions very soon. I think that's in the next video. Maybe not. We'll see. What is it? What are we doing? Oh, transformations.